What is up? I'm NYJohn, and I'm here with a cast of the Go4Dota Saturday Cup, and this will be a match between 5 Stars and Team Rainbow, and we'll see what we have going on in this one. We're in the banning and picking phase now, just getting into the game. It looks like 5 Stars are going to immediately take out Broodmother, standard ban, and we can go over the players, as some people may be a little bit unfamiliar with these teams. I do recognize 5 Stars, but Rainbow I'm a little bit unfamiliar with, so we'll go over who's who and try and figure that out. So for Rainbow, we have Jetro, Trash, Vestus, Hads, and Dash. And for 5 Stars, we have Kazers, 8A, Kova, and I'm Not Magori, and Mr. Columbia. That's what I'll roll with. And so let's check out the rest of the bands that have gone down. In the meantime, it looks like 5 Stars have decided to take out Templar Assassin as well. Rainbow responded by taking out both Lycan and Darkseer. So, a solid band set thus far. Nothing out of the ordinary quite yet. And hopefully we'll have a nice opportunity to get some insight into some off-the-radar play, maybe some innovative strategies going on in this one. We're waiting on the final band before we go into the picking phase from 5 Stars. So there's obviously a lot of heroes available. Nature's Prophet and Chen being two of the top priorities at this point, I believe. There's also the possibility for Invoker and Naga Siren. So the question is going to be, what do 5 Stars want to ban on here, or what do they possibly want to get with their first pick, which is going to be their probable thought process, and they're going to take out Invoker. So they know now they're either going to get Nature's Prophet, Chen, they can get Naga, and I believe Naga is going to be the target. So we'll see if Rainbow is going to respond with a Naga ban, because Naga is a very strong hero right now, and especially with Enigma still in the pool, as well as Tidehunter, it's going to be a great pickup to combo up with her. So we'll see if Rainbow are going to pick up on that, want to take Naga out here, or if they're going to go ahead and take out the Nature's Prophet, which would probably be the secondary pick if Naga was the ban.
5 seconds.
And we're going to go into extra time here, so it's down to the wire for Rainbow trying to figure out what they want to get rid of. And we'll see if they go with what I said. If they do ban out Naga, I don't want to go too far into the future in predictions, but I think Nature's Prophet will be the pick, and then they could respond with a Chen pick if they have a Chen player. Of course, when you have a little bit off the radar or newer teams, perhaps you don't want to force that jungle if you don't have it, which is always something you want to encourage for new teams. They're going to take out Tidehunter, so interesting choice, and this should be a Naga first pick, I believe. I feel like I've been saying Naga so often, though. So, we'll see what 5 Stars want to go with. Now, Rainbow have done a good job of opening them up for a lot of opportunities, so that could have been a wise choice, because taking out Tide, that kind of ruins the combo opportunity for them. They can respond by getting Nature's Prophet as well as Enigma now if they take Naga with the first pick for 5 Stars. So they did do a good job of opening up their options, but instead, Nature's Prophet is going to be the first pick from 5 Stars, and now Chen and Leshrac are going to be the picks from Rainbow. So they're not even thinking about Naga as of right now, so I am totally off base. Forgive me. I've been watching too many games on Pro Dota and stuff where Naga is the hottest item, but it looks like Chen and Leshrac, a heavy push strategy thus far from Rainbow. Nature's Prophet always a solid pick, and we'll see what 5 Stars want to pick up now to chain up with that Nature's Prophet. A lot of options still available if they want to pick up their own jungler. Enigma, Enchantress still in the pool, of course. Other heroes as well. If they wanted to go against the Leshrac, it's going to be interesting to see if the Leshrac is going to be support, and you can't really denote that at this stage of the picking phase, so you have to be a little bit cautious when you're trying to combo up against Leshrac or Chen, because there's not anything you could really gear against them. You don't know if Leshrac's going to go middle with a Shadow Demon. That's always a possibility. So you want to just pick your own team and try not to really counter them off of just 2 picks, because there's still a lot of opening for them to maneuver. And we'll see what exactly 5 Stars have in mind. They have a minute left in their extra time, so taking their time with this decision. What did they want to add to the Nature's Prophet? It's going to be a Tinker. And, well, if they add a Tinker, I think they want to take a jungler here. Enigma, perhaps Enchantress. One of the cool things about Tinker, of course, is once you get those boosted travels, your ability to TP onto any of your allied units. So Nature's Prophet already has Treants, obviously, but then the fact that you have Enigma as well would open up opportunities let alone from the fact that when you have Enigma, it kind of makes your 4-man roaming squad a much more formidable force when Tinker is away or when Nature's Prophet is away. But they're going to go with Windrunner instead, so a solid choice, of course. They can put her up in the long lane against nearly anybody. Of course, Chen is pretty good against Windrunner if he goes in the short lane with a dual lane as well. So we'll see how that pans out in the actual game. But now, Rainbow have some time to try and respond with a pick here. And still a wide open pool. I'm really surprised that we've gotten this far and still have a lot of top tier heroes available. But Tinker, of course, with Nature's Prophet, one of them can play off the other. It gives you a lot of map control when the booster travels up, as well as Nature's Prophet being able to TP around the map and cause chaos. And Slardar is going to be the pick from Rainbow. So another pick that I didn't see coming, but Slardar is actually a lot more popular in Asian Dota, especially Dota 1, even right now, than he is in Dota 2. But of course, it's the same stats and numbers. It's just a slightly different game. So perhaps we'll see him translate over into the competitive scene sooner or later. Maybe Rainbow have something up their sleeves to try and run this Slardar to great effectiveness. Now we're going to go into the second banning phase, and we'll see what exactly 5 stars have in mind. What do they want to take out here? It's really hard, like I said earlier, to figure out what Rainbow want. They've left their lineup pretty open. Leshrac could be a carry, he could be a support. Slardar is going to be a carry, but if Leshrac is a support, then they want to ban out a long laner, which is probably the most safe ban they can go for. So they're going to take out Chaos Knight, though. Chaos Knight, a pretty powerful hero, and it looks like Slardar is more geared for the early game, so it's an understandable option. If you can get a Chaos Knight plus something like a Shadow Demon or an AA, it's a really good combo in the middle lane that's going to cause a lot of chaos. No pun intended, of course. And now the ban will come out for Rainbow. What do they want to remove? Nature's Prophet, Tinker, and Windrunner are all heroes that they're probably going to want to put farm on unless it's a support Windrunner, which we don't see all too often. So therefore, it's safe to assume that supports will be the target bans for Rainbow, excuse me. And Rainbow would be probably well suited to get rid of the 2 jungles here. If it was my choice, I'd take out Enchantress and Enigma, because when you have a jungle, you kind of get an advantage when you can ensure the enemy team doesn't have one. And sure enough, Enchantress is one of the bans. A response by 5 stars, they take out Lone Druid very quickly, and then the last ban from Rainbow in quick succession, it's going to be Crystal Maiden. So all those heroes out of the pool, and now back to the picking phase. And it's going to be 5 stars pick. Who do they want to do to complement the Tinker or Nature's Prophet or Windrunner? They could run their lanes in any which way right now. In fact, Nature's Prophet may very well be on the long lane. If so, they may consider running a more aggressive tri-lane with Windrunner. It's going to be Venomancer, of course, solid support. And being available at this point in the game is pretty good for them. And then Queen of Pain, a really quick response from Rainbow. So it looks like Rainbow know exactly what they're going for and will be decisive with their choices here. Enigma is the final pick for 5 stars, and then Pudge, the final pick for Rainbow. So this is going to be a crazy game. It looks like Leshrac will end up being a support. And Enigma, like I said, usually you want to have a jungler advantage. And that's just a little nitpicky by me, though. So we'll see what they can do with the Pudge if they're going to run him in the middle lane. It looks like Slardar will be in the tri-lane in all likelihood, and a long lane, Queen of Pain. So let me switch over to the in-game setting. And we'll get going with this one. So I'm going to go over who is playing what for 5 stars first. We have Kaiser's team captain on Windrunner. We have Prestige or Koba on top of Venomancer. 8A is going to be playing the Tinker. Mr. Columbia on top of Enigma. And I'm Not Magori will be playing Nature's Prophet. And for Rainbow, we have Jetro playing. I'm not sure if it's Jetro or Jethro, but I'll say Jetro because that's how he spells it. He'll be playing the Pudge. We have Trash on top of Leshrac. We have Vastus on top of the Chen. And we have Hads on top of Slardar, while Dash is playing the Queen of Pain. And a really interesting lineup coming out from Rainbow. It's going to make for an exciting game. Probably a really interesting early to mid-game phase, to be honest, because there's a lot of aggression on Rainbow's side. And 5 stars aren't lacking in aggression. However, if Rainbow are able to shut down the Tinker, it's going to be difficult for 5 stars in the early to mid-game phase. So we'll see what they can do to try and open up opportunities for Tinker if they're going to put him on the safe lane. It looks like that is the plan right now as Tinker is going up towards the top lane. Enigma setting up for the jungle, so they're going to try and keep that Tinker safe. Who will he be matched up against? perhaps it's going to be Queen of Pain. So still a pretty difficult lane for the Tinker, but Queen of Pain has to be conservative because of the presence of the Enigma and the Malphite stun. Once he hits level 3, could be a very dangerous and possibly ensure some kills on top of Queen of Pain. A lot of pinging going out, but nothing ends up happening. Rainbow roams his 5 to the bottom jungle, but it looks like 5 stars wanted nothing to do with that. They're just going to go straight to the landing phase, and Kaiser is going to take out the middle with the Windrunner. So a little bit of unique options here. We've seen Windrunner middle before, of course, in the hands of players such as Misery and TC. So nothing too abnormal, and it will be a matchup against Pudge. So a nice idea actually coming out from 5 stars here. They're going to be pretty safe having Windrunner against the Pudge. So we'll see how exactly that works out. But Rainbow is going to get caught by Kova in the jungle here. He has double damage active. He's going to take a little bit of chunk of health out of him. And it looks like Dash is going to have to back off. And Kova's going to try his best to try and zone him out of the lane effectively and give Tinker this free farm that he so desires. And it looks like off to a good start already. 2 for 2. Pudge doing decent in the middle lane though. 3 for 2. Not to make too much out of the very early phases, but these early last hits are so important. If he can get up an early item, whether it's the bottles or the boots, it's going to be huge for Pudge, as it's going to get increasingly difficult as Windrunner gets levels in that power shot and progresses. But it looks like Jetro going to put some damage on Kazers here. He has an opportunity. He's going to put a hook on him as well, but this is not a trade that's going to favor him. In fact, Kazers may have an opportunity to kill him here. He's going to pop the Windrunner and come into power shot to try and finish him. One more hit will do the trick. No, he needs another one, and Kazers backs off. Jetro is so low on life, he can't even escape. Kazers going to go in again. He needs one more hit. Still the tower's going to get ticks on top of Kazers. He may be he's going to drop to the tower, and Jetro gets first blood. What a play. Oh, the awkward exchange. Kazers getting a little bit greedy there. Perhaps if he had continued on his initial engagement, he would have got the kill, but instead he drops to our Pudge player, and that is the start that Jetro is going to want. He's probably flying a bottle out to him right now. It's actually walking a bottle out to him. Either way, that is what he needs to get going on Pudge. The rune is up. It will be at the bottom river. It's going to be invisibility, and we'll see if he can manage to get that. He's going to be off to a good start. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it looks like free farm is going to be for Slardar. Nature's Prophet, let's see, 0 for 0. He's sitting on level 1 with a bit of experience. Actually, he's going to run up and get the invisibility. So Nature's Prophet has been pushed out of the lane. If he really wanted to, the smart idea is probably to use the invisibility just to get in the lane and absorb some experience while he can, because getting that level 2 is going to be oh so important. In fact, the teleportation is going to allow him to get involved elsewhere and try and pick up and compensate for that lack of levels in his own lane. Now we see Kova continuing the pressure on top of Dash. Dash forced to blink. Really good play on the top by the support Venomancer. And we have a bottle coming out, or courier coming out. It's going to deliver the Soul Ring to 8A. So he's off to a wonderful start. 14 for 5, leading the game in CS. So good for him thus far. Meanwhile, back to the middle lane. Kazers a little bit disgruntled by that early flaw in his play, and it looks like Pudge has gotten an opening. He's only 3 for 2 on CS though, so ever since that good start on the first wave, he really has stagnated, and it looks like Windrunner 13 for 4, so the first blood isn't going to mean all that much if the CS keeps going this way, and Pudge is going to have to look for some openings. If he keeps his experience going, he'd probably be pretty satisfied with going for a kill attempt at level 6, but without any roaming from his team, it's going to be difficult to do much before then. And it looks like Mr. Columbia in the jungle has no items on him at the moment. Courier's going to fly out a bottle to Windrunner, and perhaps an engagement on the top lane. It looks like Kova and 8 are pushing the lane a little bit. Dash shouldn't be in much trouble up here, though. Meanwhile, the bottom lane is pushing as well. Chen is in the area. We have a Tornado come out from the Wildkin, and we'll see what he can make out of that. Trash is also here, as well as Hads. And Hads CS has picked up since we last checked. He's 14 for 8 now. So only 1 kill in 4 minutes. Not bad, though. The first blood in the middle lane was pretty interesting. And we'll see where they want to go for here. It looks like Jetro is going to either need someone to support him or need to move more frequently, as there is a regen run on the bottom river, but it looks like Windrunner is considering contesting, and no, he's going to let him go. Instead, it's going to go to Nature's Prophet, still level 1, and he gets the regen as the wards are up from 5 stars, and they're going to collapse on top of Jetro. He's going to get a lot of trouble here. In fact, there's no Sprout, though, because, as I said, I'm not McGoy, doesn't have level 2 yet. And here comes a power shot, but it's off target, and I'm not sure it would have been enough damage to take him out anyway. He's sitting at 182. Actually, it would have been if it was on par, but it's not, and this tower instead is going to take a lot of damage. In fact, this may be the first tower kill of the game, as the glyph has already been popped, and they're going to keep chaining it up. Will they be able to take it down here? It is going to go down. Leshra gets the tower kill. Good play for Rainbow. They have 1 kill and secured the first tower of the game. It looks like they're off to a decent lead thus far. On the top lane, however, Pristigay plus 8A are not relenting. They're going to continue to apply pressure here. The March of the Machine level 2, so it's a 2-2 build. Heat Seeking and March of the Machine.